maisha. Uyazi vibe kuna makono wafos no boy pizza na me.
I think it's important for us to come back to our continent. It's just been beautiful, being able to see all of the nature, all of the animals. It feels like I'm in a movie, I said. The natural landscape is beautiful, the water is beautiful, the people are beautiful. It's just been amazing. I personally feel like storytelling is the only way that a lot of our history has ever been remembered, was oral storytelling, and that's why I wanted to come here to see the stories about my culture. I feel like these are just stories that I want to tell. I don't know, I just love storytelling.
I don't know if I should say this on camera, but we've been deceived a lot about Africa. And the utmost respect for the people here, they've been kind. I mean, ever since I put my foot on Africa, the people just been soft, kind, consistent in their kindness.
Harry was not excited. I'm like, the day before, I'm like, you excited to go on a trip? He's like, no.
Never been to Africa, never had an interest too much in Africa, you know, just busy doing what I do in America. And so, you know, it was not something that I, just really wanted to do.
Funny to watch him go from being totally wound up and uptight, not wanting to be here. First day on the Serengeti, he's like not looking at the animals. By the second day, he's jumping up, looking out the window, you know, taking pictures. So it was a process.
And I would tell everybody how people are over here. They need to see it. I mean, it's amazing. It touches my heart.
This trip has meant a lot for me, especially growing up as a kid. I always went to all-black schools, so we've always learned to like embrace our heritage and know who we are as people. So I think just coming here reminded me of what I learned as a kid and being in that school. And since I'm going back to that school to teach in the fall, now I get to take that back and I get to actually instill it into my kids as a people, because we don't know who we are, where we came from technically. So I think being able to take that back to my kids and like show them examples that they can actually use in their life and just be proud of themselves. I think it's important to come here to really change your mindset about the world around you. I feel like my age group, I guess, is stuck in like ourselves. Like we're social media and all that. We're always stuck in our own little bubble, our own little world, and we're so self-centered. And I feel like coming here makes you think of others and how, I don't know, just people around the world and how the world works in a different way than just it being about you. I think last thing, I think just everybody should just come at least once, and every part is different. Like not all of Africa is exactly the same. So I feel like definitely come more than once, but at least come once.
Located in West Africa, Senegal is often thought of as Africa's cultural hub. It's a mecca of rich traditions, historic landmarks, and memorable landscapes. Home to 7 UNESCO World Heritage Sites and 6 national parks, Senegal is brimming with one-of-a-kind experiences. The Gambia is the smallest country on mainland Africa. Although surrounded by Senegal to the north, east, and south, when you venture to the west of the Gambia's borders, you will find some of the most stunning and serene beaches Africa has to offer. Let Maximum Impact Travel introduce you to the countries of Senegal and the Gambia, known collectively as Senegambia. This region is famous for its delicious cuisine, pristine beaches, and most of all, its welcoming locals, giving Senegambia the name the Smiling Coast. There's so much to do here, from visiting Kunta Kinte Island to walking with full-grown lions. Senegal and the Gambia are full of adventure. Experience it all with Maximum Impact Travel. And it is time to experience it all with Maximum Impact Travel. How you doing? My name is Jay Cameron. Thank you for joining me as we get ready to talk about another one of our amazing Africa travel adventures. We are going to Senegal and the Gambia, and I'm going to walk you through Senegal and the Gambia tonight. And I'm really going to take you inside of one of my adventures. But what I want you to do is to get ready for you to have your adventure. Now, I'm curious, where you watching from tonight? Because in the chat, tell me where you're watching from. I said, tell me where y'all from. So tell me where you are watching from right now in the chat. I see Maryland, DC, Georgia, New York City. Let's see, Bermuda in the house. Come on now, Bermuda, Chi-Town, Dallas, Atlanta. What's up, Wanda? Delaware. The DR. Come on, y'all. Hey, what's happening, Camille? Let's see. California. Okay, El Cerrito, California, next to Oakland and San Francisco. I appreciate that. Is that like near Silicon Valley area? I guess so. Chester, PA, Phoenix, AZ. Let's see. New Jersey, Detroit City, Grand Prairie, Texas, Douglasville, Georgia. I said Detroit City, right? All right. Let me tell you something. You are in for a treat. Now, for those who follow me and if you've never heard of me before, I'm gonna tell you who I am in a second. But I'm gonna tell you that you hear me talk a lot about West Africa, and I have a West African treat that I'm going to unveil. It's the first time we've ever done it, so stick around for that. It's a West African treat, so just that should tell you West African treat that you can participate in this September. And I'll tell you a little bit about that. But before we get to that, I'm going to have to tell you about Senegal and the Gambia, because these are two very special countries in West Africa that hold a lot of history and tradition. For those who are familiar with jollof rice, or some people say Wolof rice, a lot of people don't know that it originates with the Wolof people, or the Jollof people, in Senegal. And I'm telling you, Senegal is a francophone country, so they speak French. And when I say that, meaning they were colonized by the French. Of course, they were not originally French. And the Gambia is an English-speaking country. The British had the Gambia. The French had Senegal. And for a little while there, they combined and had Senegambia. But with that, we're talking about the people, the indigenous people, the culture, the history, which is really fascinating. And I believe Senegal has some of the most beautiful landscape in all of Africa. And you'll see why. Again, I'm going to take you inside this trip. Now, what I want to do before we get into that, because I know some people have heard so many different things. That's why I wanted you to see some of the different clips at the beginning, because sometimes people just have this negative perception about Africa. But one thing I'll tell you is that if it was all bad, then why are so many people going? One thing I hear people say, well, why is everybody trying to leave Africa? If it's, if you come to America, America's the best place in the world. Everybody's trying to leave Africa and come to America. Well, when I go to Africa, I see a whole lot of people trying to go to Africa. And I understand why. Because not only the natural resources, but because it has some of the most fascinating, unique, and diverse cultures you'll ever see. And to miss out on that experience in your lifetime is just one thing I couldn't do. And that's one of the reasons why we lead this charge here at Maximum Impact Travel, because we want people to experience it. And then the thing you understand is that Africa, when you say Africa, it's like, well, what part of Africa are you talking about? You talking about Zulu down in South Africa? You talking about the Chaga over in East Africa? Who are we talking about here? Talking about the Berbers up north? We talking about the Yoruba in the West? Who are we talking about? And so that's the thing you begin to understand about West Africa and all that it has to offer. So real quick, what I want to do is tell you just a little bit about who I am, and then we'll get into this. So for those who don't know, please you can check out my YouTube channel, Maximum Impact with Jay Cameron, for more information. We have a very, very popular YouTube channel, and you can check it out. And also on Instagram, Jay Cameron Official on IG, so be sure to subscribe, like, share. And then here's a little bit more. I'm a speaker, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a playwright, I'm an author. I authored the children's book series, The Adventures of Darren and Destiny, and where Darren and Destiny, they go all around the continent of Africa. You see them in Ghana, you see them in Tanzania, or Tanzania, depending on how you want to say it. Also in Zanzibar, which is located in Tanzania. They climb Mount Kilimanjaro. They even go to Ethiopia. The Adventures of Darren and Destiny. That's how we're changing the narratives. We're bridging the gap and letting our children know the truth about the continent of Africa. I've also been featured on all of these different media outlets over the years. I have been committed to empowering and educating our community. And you see here on other media outlets where I've been talking about how Africa and the food and how it influences that. And that came out before High on the Hog. So I did that before High on the Hog came out now. All right. Talking about financial literacy for our youth. Been featured in Travel Noir. And also been featured for my series Black History Before Slavery, and so that is something that that I'm definitely proud of. And another thing that I've done is I've climbed to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro, the tallest freestanding mountain in the world, as well as the tallest mountain in Africa. Been there, seen the world from the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. So that's just a little bit about me. Now, what I want to do is, because I know some people are concerned about what's going to happen in Senegal. You know, is it safe? You know, are they going to kidnap me? Do the people like me over there? Because I heard that the people don't like us, and Africans don't like us, and they don't want us to come. And I heard that, and I heard they're not going to accept us. See, that's what I'm saying. You gotta be careful who you listen to, because sometimes somebody might have one experience with one person or two people, and they blanket the whole continent. I've been to 21 countries, and I can tell you that 95% of the time, I've been welcomed with open arms. And it wasn't even a situation of, welcome home because we know your story, because most people on the continent of Africa don't even know the story of most of the African diaspora. And that's those who have been dispersed throughout the world as a result of the various slave trades and our ancestors who were affected by it. Most of the people on the continent of Africa have no clue, because their education system in many cases has been just as jacked up as the education system in the West. And I say that so everybody understood it. Everybody knows what jacked up means. And so they've been told one narrative, we've been told one narrative, and the whole thing has been designed to make sure that we don't have an interest in getting to know each other, but we have an interest in assimilating and trying to be something else. And what we're saying is we're bridging the gap, and we're taking the time to, to shake our hands. And this is my theme right here. I love this right here. Put our hands together. You see that bridge? That's what it's all about right there. And understanding that we have more in common than we have differences. And when we can put that together and understand it, we can do so many things. And that's what our goal is here at Maximum Impact Travel. All right. Where do I want to go first? Because I got a few things I want to show you today. It's you know what? Let me take you inside, because some people think that when it comes to Africa, they think that, well, if you go to Africa, things are all primitive. Well, we're going to show you, and we're going to change that narrative. Now, I got it. I know exactly what I want to do. Let's talk about this for a second. The rat race. And the rat race is, many of us have been just doing the same routine week after week, day after day, year after year, month after month. I think I said that backwards. But y'all know what I mean. So we're doing the same routine constantly, over and over again. And life just passes by. And that's what happened with me. When I got into my 40s, I realized, I said, wait a minute. I said, I'm going to end up doing the same thing my entire life. And I said, there has to be more to life than just doing the same old thing, paying bills, working, paying bills, working, paying bills, might get a little vacation here, might do a little bit this here. And I'm watching so many other people. You know, you go on the gram, you go on TikTok, you go on Facebook, and you see everybody just kind of living their best life, and you're like, wow, you know, what is happening? And so I decided that I was going to take a trip to Africa, and I went to Ghana first. And when I got to Ghana, I discovered that much of what they were telling me wasn't true. Some of it was true. Of course, you know how it is. When they want to paint a narrative, they're going to pick the absolute worst scenarios and put that out there. But the interesting thing that I discovered was that everybody was not starving. Everyone was not dying in the streets. There was plenty of food, and there were plenty of shoes and clothes and books and everything else that they tell us that we need to take over. It was plenty of that there. As a matter of fact, these were some of the most resourceful, intelligent people that I'd ever seen. And so I'm saying to myself, well, wait a minute. I stayed away from here because I didn't see the value for so long. What am I going to do in Africa? What are they doing over there? Do I need to go on a missions trip? Do I need to go feed somebody? Do I need to go take all of my intelligence to them? And I discovered that I was the one who needed to be taught a few things. And then when that happened, that's when Maximum Impact came about. And since then, we've taken hundreds of people back to the continent. It was back in my first trip was in 2018. And then 2019 was our first tour. 2020, COVID shut everything down. And even in the middle of COVID, in 2021, we said there are people who still want to travel. And we started bridging the gap, if you will, and taking people back to the continent. And so now we go to 12 different countries and on the continent of Africa. As a matter of fact, we have a group right now in Egypt. As I'm talking to you right now, there's a group in Egypt. And so we have travel partners, we have affiliates, we have different people that we work with, because it's up to us to change these narratives within our community and within our homes and within our global community, so that people understand and the things that you see on the media and things that you see on the news and all of that on the internet may not necessarily be 100% true. And there's nothing like going and seeing for yourself. So with that said, I remember I was talking to a few people, and this was one thought right here. And so when some people say, I'm too old, I can't do it. I'm too old. I'm too old. I can't go. And so many of the people that we serve are in their 70s, 80s, and 90s. We've had everyone from ages 3 to 93. And so they'll say, I'm too old. So we say, no, you're not too old. As a matter of fact, this is something we're going to make sure, as we honor and respect our elders, we want to make sure that they have the ability to go on these trips as well as our teenagers and our 20-somethings and 30s and 40s and 50-somethings. They can go. But we want to make sure that people understand that you're not too old to go. You're not too old to go. And then the other part of it is that some people say, well, you know, I'm traveling alone. I'm going by myself. You're not traveling alone. You're going with family. And this is something that Miss Ann, you know, one of the things that she said that was so important was for people to understand that when you decide that this is something that you want to do, you do what it takes to make it happen. And here's just a little bit of her story, as she was on one of our travel partners, Urban Intellectuals trip, not too long ago. Take a listen.
That for me to fully participate and be able to walk and do all of the walking and visit all of the pyramids and to visit the temples, I would have to be physically in better shape than I was. So I lost 32 pounds after I signed up. I started walking every day. My lab tests are phenomenal. My doctors at the lab actually wrote handwritten notes on it and said, girl, what are you doing? How do you do this? What's happening? It's better than it's ever been. We are so proud of you. Keep it up. It made me feel I'm not only competent to do this, but that I can do this. So I know that I can, and I have. I've walked all the way to the top of the pyramids and inside at Giza and the Great Pyramid, which was a challenge. You did have to walk uphill and bend over like this all part of the way. But it was worth it to say that I actually did that. You know, walking these distances is not an easy challenge, but if you prepare your body and prepare your mind and your spirit wants you to do it, don't miss out on this kind of opportunity for yourself. It will change your life in ways you never expected. It will make you realize what a magnificent heritage we have, and that we are the children of kings and queens. I am blessed to be able to do this.
You know, one of the things that Miss Ann said that was so important is that once she decided that she was going to take the trip, it improved her life, her physical health. So just imagine how a trip to Africa, and we're talking about Senegal in particular tonight, how a trip like this can impact so many other aspects of life. There's so many people who are dealing with a lot of other challenges. And I find that when I'm in my travels, that there's so many people who are traveling as a form of therapy, as a form of education, as a form of fun and relaxation and entertainment. All of these things are part of the travel experiences. Now, another thing that Miss Ann had to address, because with her being 72, there were people who were saying, wait a minute now, you can't be going over there by yourself now. If you go by yourself, it's trouble. It's just going to be a problem. And Miss Ann so eloquently answered that question as well. What are some of the things that your family and friends said when you were talking about traveling to Africa?
Some people were saying they were afraid to travel to Africa, and why did I want to do that? I was like, why wouldn't you want to do that? This is the motherland. This is where we came from. We didn't come to the U.S. voluntarily. We need to see what's our real home. You know, and I think people were worried too because of my age and that they felt I was traveling alone, that I wasn't going to Africa with a family member or a spouse. They have become my family and friends. They have helped me every step of the way. You know, I have a cane. They made sure that I was on level ground. They made sure that I didn't stumble. They made sure if I got tired, I had a place to sit. They watched out for me. If I was slower than everybody else, they still waited. They took care of me. These people have become my friends and family here in Africa. And for many of us, we are going to be neighbors and friends, I found out, back in the U.S. in a couple of years. I'm really excited about that because I'm going to be close to many of them and where they live now. So it's been an opportunity to make new friends from all over the United States. There's some people here from Canada, from all over the world, and it's the experience of a lifetime. You would not regret it if you took this opportunity for yourself. It's an investment in you. It's not an investment, you know, that you think of in terms of money. It's an investment in terms of knowledge and spirit and hope and love for what we are as a people.
Well, her words, again, resonate on so many different levels because she could have stayed home. She could have missed out on the experience, but she decided to do something about it. And there's so many people who are willing to do something about it. And they're saying, I'm going to explore Africa. They've been to Europe. They've been to Asia. They've been to South America. Of course, they've been down to the Caribbean. They've been to Mexico. They've been to Canada. They've been everywhere else that everyone says, okay, it's fine for you to go there. But when it's come to the continent of Africa, many cases, you know, the people avoid it. You might go to South Africa, you know, and we take everybody to South Africa as well. But when it comes to West Africa in particular, it's like an afterthought. You know, after Trump called it what he called it, a lot of other people who descend from there feel the same way. But guess what? We're changing these narratives and people are starting to come and see and experience it for themselves. The next thing is this: tomorrow's not promised. And that's what COVID taught us. Tomorrow is not promised. There were so many people who went into 2020, coming out of 2019, saying, hey, you know what? We're going to, you know, 2020 is going to be our year. 2020 is going to be it. And then they didn't make it through 2020 because of what we experienced with COVID-19 and all of the different impacts of that. And so what it taught me is to give people the opportunity to do it now and to not wait. And to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to plan for it. And so as I plan for it, we're going to do this and we're going to make it happen. I've seen people bring their entire families, their children, the parents and the grandparents came along. And so there's multi-generational. So, and then I've had a lot of people who like nightlife. They've come along and they've done that. They say, listen, we want to get the culture and the history and everything, but we want to, you know, have some fun at night too. And so we made sure all of that happened. We made sure that people had opportunities to eat some of the best food, get their shopping. You know, all the shoppers out there, raise your hand. Let me hear, if you're a shopper, type in the chat, say, yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's one of the things that we make sure it's a well-rounded experience so that you have the opportunity to get all of that and create. What we say is it's not a trip, it's an experience. It's a travel experience, because oftentimes we think of, you know what, it's a trip and I can just go do this and book that. And then, yeah, you can, but then you don't get the experience, or you have an experience, but you don't get this experience. And that's what we're so proud of here at Maximum Impact, is that we're able to create these experiences that transcend the trip. We go and we put so much time into it. There's no trip that we put out that I've not been on myself. And so there are times that I will go on a trip 2, maybe even 3 times before the first person comes. And to lay the foundation, to lay the groundwork, to be able to taste the food, to know the hotels, to know the transportation situation, to understand the dynamics. So when you come, you're comfortable. You're like, hey, I'm good to go. I already know it's already been taken care of because Jay's been there. Even if I'm not on the trip, you know that I've been there before you. And that's the one thing about all that. That is the standard for Maximum Impact travel trips and travel experiences, is that I will make sure that I know the people who are on the ground. I will know everyone who's participating in the trip, because it's that important. Again, for me, it's not just a trip, it's a travel experience. And I want to be able to bridge the gap. And I want you to be able to be safe, have a great time, and know that you're in great hands. I ran a summer camp for 12 years, and I always talk about it, called Life Camp. And I ran that camp with the same focus, making sure that when parents sent their children to the camp, they wanted to know, first of all, they were going to be safe and they were going to have a good time. And I bring that same philosophy to Maximum Impact travel. And so you can rest assured that you will get that same care. All right, so let's see. Are the trips child friendly? Yes. Are the trips adult friendly? Yes. Do we pair people? No. And the reason why we don't pair people is because of the liabilities that come with it. Just imagine if you have people and they don't get along and you pair them. So where are they going to stay if they start rumbling in the hotel room and they can't get along with each other? So where are they going to stay? Right. So we think about all of that, and we like to protect the integrity of the entire trip. And we also have a culture of people, that understand, and we all protect the integrity of the trip, because everyone spends their hard-earned money and they want to make sure that they have a good time as well. All right, so are these? We've answered the question: are the trips child friendly? Yes. And so, and we make a note just to kind of say there's some trips that might not be as child friendly. Most are. South Africa, it can be, but our South Africa trip is more. It's more upscale, more of a platinum kind of experience, more of an adult-oriented trip. Kenya, Seychelles, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, those are, I wouldn't necessarily want to say to bring children on those trips. But for Senegal, you can definitely do that, and there are child discounts available. 40% discount for ages 5 to 11. Children under 5 are free, unless there's a airline ticket or some sort of admission that needs to be paid for that child under 5, and then that would be the only cost that would be incurred. Is there a lot of physical movement? Yes, there's a lot of physical movement in our trips, but guess what? We can modify for certain mobility challenges, so don't let us know if you have a challenge. If you need a wheelchair, we can definitely work that out and get that taken care of. So just keep that in mind. But there is a lot of physical movement. Do we offer payment plans? Yes. Is international airfare included? Typically, no, it is not. And so we're going to Senegal and the Gambia. So Senegal, as I said at the beginning, is a French-speaking country, and the Gambia is an English-speaking country. So but don't worry about it. Everyone that we're working with has the ability to speak in English as far as our guides are concerned. So you don't have to worry about that. Just a few other questions. Do we pair guests? No. I explained that a second ago. Do you assist with booking flights? No, but we can refer you to an agent, an independent agent that can help you with that. Can non-American citizens join the trip? Yes. You just want to check with the Senegal embassy to make sure of any visa requirements that you might need. And the good thing about it is, going to Senegal, you do not need, as an American citizen, you do not need a visa to go to Senegal. And so that's just to let you know. And then how much money will you need on the trip? You can survive. Let me say this. You can survive off of $300 to $500. Okay, you can survive. You're not going to do a whole lot of shopping, but you can survive. So, but we let everybody work that out. I've seen people navigate it just fine. And because we have the different options available, payment options, then they're able to prepare for it accordingly. Is travel insurance automatically included? No, it is not. It is not automatically included. And another question is, do we offer refunds? And what we tell everyone, and for some, I don't know how this happens. I think I might need to come back on the screen for this one. I don't know how this happens, y'all. It's like people get amnesia. We suggest the travel insurance because for several different reasons. If you're on the trip and you have an accident or something like that, or you get sick, or you know, whatever the case might be, the travel insurance with medical covers or could cover your situation. That's one reason. It could possibly, depending on the policy that you get, it could possibly cover your air delays and airfare, lost luggage. But then also, let's say, and we encourage you to get the cancel any reason policy, because let's say you need to cancel for any reason. Then you can file a claim with your travel insurance company, and that's how you can get your refund. The reason why we do this is because there are, especially now with the travel industry booming and everything, prices are going through the roof rather quickly. That's why today is a good day to do this before everything starts to take off. The reason why we emphasize this is because hotels and vendors have no refund policies. Because if someone happens to book a trip and then 2 days, or let's say 2 weeks later, they say, oh, well, I decided I want to cancel. Well, that vendor could have sold that trip to someone else who may have called the next day. And then in the event, you know, someone calls and says, well, no, I canceled. Now they lose that particular opportunity because the person calls and said, well, it's already booked. We're booked up, so they go look elsewhere. So that's one of the reasons why we don't offer refunds, but we encourage you to get travel insurance so that, with cancel any reason, so that everyone is covered. You're covered on multiple levels, and then you're able to feel secure about your investment. Okay, so that I want to make sure that is very, very clear. I see so many people go on trips, don't have travel insurance. I've had people tell me, I don't need insurance, I have money back home, but they don't understand how expensive things can get in the event of an emergency. And guess what? What do we say? That we're looking out for people. We want you to relax and enjoy, and we make sure that you're prepared for the trip. And that's how we do it, because we want you to be well taken care of when you go on one of our travel experiences. All right, I'm gonna come back and talk a little bit more about the logistics, but I want to show you, because some people are wondering, well, what is it like? You know, where am I going to be staying? Am I going to be staying somewhere out in the woods, somewhere just, you know, primitive, and no running water and nothing going on? Do I need to just, you know, what do I need to do? Do I need to bring my own drinking water? Do I need to bring my own food? As a matter of fact, is it that bad over in Africa? Is it so terrible over there? Well, no, it's not. We wouldn't take you if it was like that. So here's a peek inside of just one of the places in Senegal that you have an opportunity to experience. So there you go, just a peek inside of just one of the locations, and just to know they have they have the Radisson Blu, they have the Pullman Hotel, so all of these different. So the one thing you don't have to worry about is where you'll stay and what that experience will be like. All right, so now I want to show you some very creative people in Senegal. And then we'll talk about the Gambia in a little bit. But I want to show you some very creative people and some of the things that they do with sand. And you'll have an opportunity to see them when we visit Goriana.
So you're welcome. Well, so here we're working with sand that are natural colored, and we're using them to make painting. So first of all, let me tell you where we get the sand from, and then we'll just do a little demonstration to show you how it works. So this is the black sand, the volcanic sand that we get next to the African Renaissance Monument in Dakar. And we also have the sand which is from the iron mine in Mauritania. And this is the sand from the Tenawa Desert from the northern part of Niger. And we also have the sand which is from the Sahara Desert from the northern part of Africa, which is the biggest desert area. And the yellow one is from the Lumpur Hills, is the way to Saint Louis to the north. We also have the sand from the Pink Lake, 45 kilometers from Dakar. And this is the sand from Casamance, it is in the south, in Cap Skirring. The sand from the island, you have to dig up to get this kind of color. And there is also the white one, which is from the beach of Sali, 84 kilometers from Dakar. And then to finish, we also have the green one, which is from the Salom Islands, the green sand, which was colored by the leaves of the mango trees, as you can see. So we can collect up to 15 naturally colored sands. And as glue, we also using the sap of the young baobab tree, which is mixed with the gum from the acacia tree. So we're using that glue to make our drawings. So here the artist is drawing with the glue. He's making now the shape, and later on he just start putting the sand to make out the colors and the shadowings. So this is the most interesting part. All right, and so this technique of painting also is from the School of Fine Art that was funded by the first Senegalese, starting with the darkest color and then to finish it off with the lightest one. Okay. You can see. So in few seconds, the final product, let's see how it's gonna look like.
Wow, look at that.
So here you got it, you see?
Okay, and that's starting the continent.
Yeah, this is the African continent with the, it's a couple. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this is the man, he's going to put the lady on the other side.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, as you can see.
Nice.
Yeah, so thank you.
So
this,
using all the different sands
all these different sands to make paintings. All
You
right.
went to school for this.
Yeah, the technique is from the School of Fine Art.
The School of Fine Art?
Yeah, that was built by the first Senegalese president, yeah, Mr. Senghor. Yeah, Mr. Leopold Senghor. As you can see.
That's just a small sample. I mean, that was one they made for me. And guess what? You can get yours made too. And you can actually see them make it and go through that whole deal. It's just, I'm telling you, all the different places I travel to in Africa, and Senegal has probably left the deepest impression because I saw so many different things. It was like so many things going on in Senegal. I was like, what is this? And so many of you are familiar with something called the Pink Lake. For those of you who are not familiar with the Pink Lake, it is a very popular place and is reported to be 3 times saltier than the Dead Sea at different times. So let's take a look inside the Pink Lake. Here in Senegal, another one of the spectacular sights. So we're about to go to the Salt Lake, if you will. So stick around.
Was done by the ladies.
So what makes this fascinating is that this particular lake is 3 times saltier than the Dead Sea. So you'll sit and float and all of that. Like right here is, see that salt right there? There's salt on that stick right there. That's how intense this is. So continuing to learn more about this part of Senegal. Who knew in Senegal, in West Africa, that this is what was going on? Who knew? Who knew? So, oh wow, look at this. Look at this in my hand. No, I'm not gonna do that. This is salt. right here in West Africa. So you talk about Salt Lake City. This is Salt Lake. This is the Great Salt Lake. Look at this. Look at the details. Look at all of that right there. I'm telling you, the things you learn when you travel is fascinating, and that's why you want to be a part of these experiences. Who knew in Senegal? And I'm going to show you something else in Senegal you didn't think you'd see, but here's some salt. God, it's like a high blood pressure situation right here. Well, that's the Pink Lake, and that's a part of our travel experience, and you'll get a chance to be a part of the Pink Lake. You'll also get a chance to do this right here, and I found it kind of fun. I actually ran up this the Renaissance statue. I called myself running up this thing, and I was like, yeah, I got this. And yeah, so I got there all right, but I was like, wow. And I mean, but guess what? They have elevators for those who may have some mobility challenges. Don't worry. But for those who want to get those extra steps in, you can definitely get those extra steps in, climbing up the steps to the Renaissance Monument. And so this is one of the landmarks in West Africa. And it's a symbol, it's designed to be a symbol of freedom. You see, I'm still running up. I'm still going up. But after a while, I was like, whoo, that's real. I don't know how many steps it is, but it was definitely intense. But you know what? I'll do it again. I'll do it again in a heartbeat. So that was, this is another site that you'll have an opportunity. There's another site that you'll have an opportunity to go to when you come to Senegal. Now, here's something else real fun and real interesting. Take a look at this. We're getting ready to hit the ATVs. Last time I did one, I was in Egypt. Well, this time I'm in Senegal. ATV. Hear that? Part of the maximum impact travel experiences. These are things that I'm telling you they don't show you. Broadcasting from the rooftops. So we're about to broadcast it from the rooftops. Rocking my Tanzania shirt in Senegal. That's how we bridge the gap between Africa, and the African diaspora. That's what we're doing. So it's time. Let's do it. Open up your eyes to see all the fun and mystery. Take an African adventure, down in destiny. From the mountains to the shore, so many things to explore. African adventure, down in destiny. Time to go. One more again. Here we go. Oh, Disney style. Oh Lord, I'm out here riding on these ATVs out here in Africa. And I done told somebody, they ought to know better. You'll be riding no ATVs out there. I need to give you some balls and nuts and some red rice, and I'll be good to go. But I'm good now, y'all. I'm back. Representing my Gullah Geechee from South Kakalaki, the low country. So, yeah, man. Live a little, y'all. This is what it's all about. Some of us just work. So I can live a little. And just a record, I'm not really going that fast. So my question is, when you coming to join a brother in Africa? That's the bottom line. Overthinking it, thinking too much. Wondering how, when, and what. A couple years from now. And you can do it now. All I'm saying is, what you waiting on? What you waiting on? Oh, what you waiting on? Hey. you know, when you're having fun, there's nothing like when you're having fun. But that is a question. What you waiting on? You know, that's the deal, because sometimes we do overthink it, and when we overthink it, we'll find ourselves missing out on a lot of different opportunities because we're overthinking it. And we're going to show you how you can do this and not stress yourself out, and other ways that you can make this happen if it's something that you want to do. One thing I realize in life, we do exactly what we want to do. If we want to do it bad enough, we make it happen. And so if this is a trip that you want to happen in your life, it can happen. Now, something also fascinating about the Great Pink Lake is that Senegal is one of the largest salt producers in the world. And so let's take a look at this. They're actually out there harvesting the salt, which I find to be very fascinating. And so here we're going to get an opportunity to see. As a matter of fact, I'm going to flip the camera around.
Activities. See the activities, how they get in a salt. And the women, like what I was explaining you, the women that are loaded the boat, very strong women. And each of these baskets they have can carry 25 kilograms.
Wow.
And you see, what I was telling you, the men are collecting salt, you see them with the shovels, and now the ladies have them loaded. You see, when it's out, it's usually dark. You see that one? So
okay.
that, please, you can come close, bro.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Okay, so it's like pink.
Yeah.
So it's pink this way, and then with it being pink, it's able to...
Comes out with the algae, that's why.
Oh, okay.
You see, the first one, you
see
the
yeah,
lady?
Yeah.
It's dark, after it turn white, after a few hours on the sun.
All right, that's fascinating. Let's see how it all comes out.
They do 2 by 2.
Now this is amazing to see this, because this is the salt that's harvested out of the... It's amazing. And in Guadalupe Park, we have permission to take video and footage and everything, so it's not a problem. But they harvest the salt from the bottom. The salt comes up, it's kind of like grayish color. And then after it dries, so the algae down there is white. Fascinating. I tell you, African people are ingenious, resourceful, and I see this continent wide. So I got me some salt for my son. He's a chef, so we're gonna see how he cooks up. So with the Senegalese Salt Lake salt. Yeah. From Senegal. I mean, this is really cool to see. African people all over the world, brilliant, skilled, resourceful. You know, and it's moments like this when I go back and I say, I don't have any excuse. You know, I can't go back complaining about what I don't have and all that. I mean, because these people make it happen. I mean, we're on a level that's really incomprehensible on many levels for a lot of people because of how we've been spoiled. We used to just go in and get the salt for it, but just seeing this always inspires me to do my best with everything that I have, because I watch everyone else doing the best with everything they have. And that's the part that's so inspiring. Come on over there. Right behind me is the Atlantic Ocean. It is the Atlantic. And so all of this, when you come through here, the lake is behind me, and then you have the Atlantic Ocean on the other side. And I mean, so who knew all of this existed in Senegal? That's right. And you also see a community where they're building homes right here on beachfront property. But just look, I mean, I will tell you that in West Africa, Senegal, the beaches in Senegal are unlike anything I've seen in West Africa so far. So I still got to get down to Cameroon and Gabon and Angola. And so I got to get down to that side, and Liberia. and Guinea, and we're actually going to have an opportunity to go to the Gambia. That's right, getting to the Gambia in a little bit. These beaches are just like forever and ever. I mean, it's something to see. So we'll see. You know, we might ride the ATVs down there, but hey, Senegal. That's all I got to say. Senegal. Ah, here we go. On the beach. The Atlantic. Senegal Beach. All right, here on the beach in Senegal. So this is ATVs on the beach. That's how you do it. So you know what to do. MaximumImpactTravel.com. Be a part of the experience. And I mean, it's something about these beaches. And I mean, this is what I mean. This is a beach, and it's yeah. I mean, just look behind me at it. Look at that. Senegal, where it's at. Get ready for Maximum Impact Travel Experience in Senegal for sure. It's on the way. Putting all the details together and you can be a part of it. The West African experience. I love the East, I love the South, I love the North, and I love the West. These are priceless experiences that you really can't put a price tag on. Things you see, things you experience. So unique. Each place is so unique. Yeah.
You know, one of the biggest things, and this is, you know, what makes this part of the world so special, you know, because you can tell I was taken by the beach, because I'll tell you why I was taken by the beach, because it's the cleanest beaches I've seen in West Africa. That's the best way I know how to say it, because I was like, whoa. You know, some other countries I've been in, it's like the beaches are like, ah. But when I went to Senegal, those beaches were pristine, and then I had some other surprises right there on the beach.
Yeah. And you're not going to believe this. Camels behind me in Senegal. That's right. Camels over my shoulder. Here we are on a camel in Senegal.
And see, now some of you thought the only place you would be able to ride a camel would be Egypt, but they have camels all over. And again, you have the Pink Lake, you have the Atlantic Ocean, you have the beaches, you have all of that, and you have camels right there. But then you also have, as a part of this experience, you get a chance to walk with the lions. And I'm gonna show you what it looks like when you're gonna walk with the lion. Now, before I show this clip, this clip might not be appropriate for young viewers, and probably some older viewers too. However, I would be remiss if I held this to myself because it was a classic moment in Maximum Impact history. I can't guarantee that you'll get the same footage, but it was like they knew that this was going to be that moment where they would be showcased all over the world. Nala and Simba. And Can You Feel the Love Tonight? All right, getting ready to go walk with some lions. Almost here in the Gambia, but still in Senegal. So we'll see what ends up happening here. There's the cheetahs in Zanzibar, the lions in Senegal, lions and tigers and bears on by. Stay tuned. Tells us danger, lions. The sign says it all.
Oh, no problem.
Lord, I'm not saying. I got to be the first to go into this situation.
Go ahead.
The lions in the jungle, the mighty jungle. The lion sleeps tonight. Yes. Oh man, this is something. I mean, this is really cool. I mean, to be able to stand here behind the lions. And of course you have Simba, Nala, and oh boy, oh boy, uh-oh. Well, go ahead. It's time for the show. Now she should.
It's nature, man. Let's go with it.
She should flip over.
You're having the best pictures, by the way.
You know, of course, I would inspire this, right? All right, now.
Chris, that's the
You're
second
doing a
time
lot
you're doing
better
this,
than a
man.
lot of fellas out here, right?
She ain't moved yet.
You need to take notes.
You didn't finish last time? As it was?
Oh, my.
She's not even moving.
I'm just gonna take it. Yeah. Okay.
What perfect timing? Perfect timing. Lay down. Oh, go down. I was like, I'm not getting into this. We're not doing a menage here now. Boy, I tell you, for the priceless things you see when you travel. All right. Merci. They're walking with lions. Turn back this way. Better go this way.
Come closer.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
You don't speak loudly, for you don't want to trigger anything unfortunate. So this is part of the experience, the Maximum Impact Travel experience. You get to walk with the lions. And as you walk with the lions, you begin to see how cool this really is. Think about how often you get to walk with the lions. I just don't want Nala to turn around and get attitude about nothing. So, yeah, it's wonderful.
I'm from Gambia. I'm from Senegal. Stop. Yeah.
All right now.
We're getting the best one. If he acting up for you, man.
I can touch you? Okay.
Yeah, you can touch him. Yeah.
Hey there. Hey, how you doing? Should I get a little closer? I feel like I'm like, ooh. Hey there. One's coming back. I feel like I'm far away. Should I get a little closer? Hey there.
One behind you.
Oh, one behind me. Come on over here. Where are you? Oh, turn back around. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know how many people are ready for that, but it was really cool. It was really cool. And at walking with the lions, they had no chains on or anything like that. Obviously, if you don't want to do it, you don't need to do it. But again, when I tell you the Senegal is a well-rounded experience, you're going to get the history, the education of Gorée Island. You're going to go to the different museums. You're going to have a chance to taste Senegalese food. We'll get some nightlife in there for those who are interested in the nightlife. For those who are interested in shopping, you're going to be sure to shop. You'll be able to meet many of the locals. Again, I just like to show you how, this is in West Africa. This is in East Africa. So you have lions in the West too. You have camels in the West too. All of these things. So like right now, for many people, it's an education. Because they're like, wow, I didn't understand Senegal had all that. I can't tell you and show you everything because we have to have a few surprises in there to make it all, make it the experience, the travel experience all come together. Here's one last clip I want to show you of something daring and some people would probably say crazy. Another crazy, daring thing that I did while in the Gambia. All right, everybody, here we are. Crocodiles. So it's cheetahs, lions, crocodiles.
Okay, brother.
Okay, now.
I want you to do this.
What do you want me to do?
Step over like this.
Oh my God.
Touch the crocodile, like that.
Uh-huh.
Only don't pat it on the head, okay?
Don't pat it on the head.
Yeah, just pat it like this. You go.
Oh boy. Here we go. Don't sit on it though. Don't sit. Don't sit.
Yeah, no, don't sit. Pretend like you're sitting. Just like
Pretend like I'm sitting. Oh God.
Make a step further.
Am I good?
Yeah, go on further. Okay, that's good.
Now, go down.
Yeah, go down. And pat a crocodile.
Oh my God. Ooh. Am I doing this right? Oh. Just don't touch the head. Man, this thing feels scaly. It's scaly, scaly, scaly. Now, how long should I do this? All right. Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. All right. Adventures in Africa. That's all I got to say. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. So with that said, that's a part of it. Now, I just want to run you through the itinerary for those who are, and I'm going to share with you some things that you can take advantage of today. And then I told you this, we have a West African treat that I'm going to share with you. And then we will wrap up everything that we have going on. So anyway, we talked about Senegal and the Gambia. It's happening September 9th through the 16th, 2023. That's one. If you want to catch me, if you want to go with me on the trip, I'm going to be on the trip this September 9th through the 16th. I'm not on all trips, so let me just let everybody know. I'm not on every trip, but I will be on this particular one. So again, Senegal and the Gambia are known by their pristine beaches, delicious cuisine, and welcoming locals. Known as the Smiling Coast, Smiling Faces, collectively known as Senegambia, you'll find much diversity in this region. The people here practice many different religions, speak many different languages, including Wolof, French, English, explore the very best of both Senegal and the Gambia. And this one-of-a-kind 8-day excursion, Senegambia, awaits. And just to let everybody know, another question came up whether or not the Gambia requires a visa. Yes, it does. It's not a difficult process to get the Gambia visa. And actually, you can do visa on arrival. So that's just a note as well. But we'll walk you through that process. So that's something just to kind of put into your mind that you don't have to worry about. What's included in the tour: ground transportation, and it does not include international airfare. So when we talk about the pricing, it does not include international airfare. You can do double occupancy or single occupancy. If you want to upgrade the room, you can let us know. It will be obviously an additional fee. But the hotels have Wi-Fi, spa, restaurant, room service, all that good stuff, and wheelchair accessible. And all admission activities are covered. And just to let you know that the what's not included, there we go, reminder of the lion, your passport, your visa, any vaccinations, travel insurance. And again, when it comes to Senegal, they like for you to have the yellow fever vaccination if you're coming from a country that has yellow fever. So just to let you know that. But if you're coming from a country that doesn't, then that's not what they're looking for. Also not included, your medical insurance with travel, cancel anytime, your lunch and dinner, and any gratuities. And we do strongly encourage everyone to be generous with their tipping, and we'll cover all of that. So the itinerary, you arrive in Dakar. That's where you're going to be flying into, Dakar, Senegal. That's where you're going to be flying into. That's where you're going to be leaving out of. And you're going to go, there's going to be a Dakar City tour. So many different things. You saw the Pink Lake. You saw the Renaissance statue. And there's more. The museum, other places, just other little surprises in there. I always have surprises. So just know you get that tour. Then you'll go on day 3 to Gorée Island. This is where many, many, many people, many enslaved, were taken from Senegal to Brazil, the Caribbean, and then, some even brought to America. And then day 4, you'll have a beach day where you can just relax. Because some people just want a beach day. I'm telling you, I want you all to experience the beach because that is very important. It's Senegal. If you go to Senegal and you don't get the beach, then that's not cool. So that's another time where we'll have an opportunity to get some of the nightlife in. So it's really kind of a chill day. And then you go to the wildlife reserve. That's where you get to hang out with the lions. If you don't want to walk with the lions, you don't have to walk with the lions. All right. Nothing that you saw that was uncomfortable or anything like that, you don't have to worry about doing. Then we cross over into the Gambia. And you go to the National Museum, and you get to go to the Crocodile Park. Then you go to Kunta Kinte Island. That's another important. It's named Kunta Kinte Island is for just is more symbolism than anything else. But that's where many people were taken from as well. And you see the ruins on Kunta Kinte Island. We have a good time in the Gambia too. A couple surprises in the Gambia. The Gambia has the beautiful beaches as well. And then coming back into Senegal, going to Sally Beach, and then departing from there. And so I'm telling you, it is a really, really special trip. You will have a great time. And this just kind of walks you through. So, some of the slides just kind of show you some of what you've already seen and just kind of takes you through the itinerary. And there we go. There we go. Just to kind of give you some more insight. And this is some of what Kunta Kinte Island, and this will be sent out on replay if anybody's wondering. I'm not able to watch or see any of the comments in the chat or answer any questions yet because I want to make sure that I get through this, and we're getting ready to wrap it up. So now the question I know some people have is, okay, how much is this going to cost? And let me share with you the pricing, and I'll share with you some specials that we have that you can take advantage of. All right, here is the pricing. Double occupancy per person for the tour that you saw is $39.24, and this is Senegal and the Gambia. Double occupancy per person, so it's $39.24 per person. If it's single occupancy, it's going to be $44.24 per person, and then for a child discount, it's going to be $23.55. And so now let everyone know these prices are going up at midnight. Today they are going up. As a matter of fact, with the way that hotels and everything is, we should have raised these prices before, but I said we're going to hold off because we had this travel info session coming up. And so if you book by midnight tonight, Eastern Standard Time, midnight Eastern Standard Time, it's 9:10 p.m. I'm in the DMV. It's 9:10 p.m. right now. If you're able to book and secure your space with only a $199 deposit, then you could take advantage of these rates, which will change as of midnight tonight. And we know this trip is something truly special. It is something you don't want to miss out on. And we'll talk about a little bit more about that. But I told you I had a West African surprise, right? I had some specials and some things coming up. All right, so here's the special that I was talking about. Your $199 deposit holds your space, and we're looking at going the 9th through the 16th September of this year. And the price is going to be going up $200 as of midnight. So it'll be going up $200. And now here's something else. If you bring a friend, what you can do, you bring a friend, you'll get a $300 credit. We're going to be unveiling our affiliate program. And if you bring a friend, you get a $300 credit towards your trip. You get it towards your trip. So if you bring, however many people, you get a $300 credit. Now, here is the West African surprise. And with this West African surprise, you will definitely have the opportunity to do something that many people don't get a chance to do. Here it is. We are unveiling the triple threat. The triple threat. You can do Senegal and the Gambia. Then follow that up right after it. You can go to Ghana for 8 days. So you can do Senegal and the Gambia, Ghana, and then we are unveiling, and I'm telling you, this is big, because a lot of people have been wanting to go to Nigeria. They have been all types of things. I want to go to Nigeria. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get there. Well, this fall, we're going to Ivory Coast and Nigeria. We're introducing all of this. If you do all three, because I'm discovering that a lot of folks out here, they're like, look, if I'm in West Africa, I might as well go ahead and knock all of them out. If I need to go, you are going to some of the best of everything in West Africa. So you would have covered so much history. In Nigeria, we go to Badagry. In Ivory Coast, we go to Grand Bassam. You get a chance to eat some of the Ivorian food. You get a chance to, in Nigeria, we go to the Yoruba. We go to the Igbo. So you get that part of it. You go to Landmark Beach. We hang out in Lagos. We stay in Lagos. And so accommodations, either it's going to be Marriott or Radisson Blu. In Ivory Coast, it'll either be Noom or Pullman. So in Ghana, it'll be Lancaster or Marriott. It just depends on, these are all of what we have going on right here this September. And you can see September is going to be hot in West Africa. And you can take advantage of it because the price for Senegal the Gambia is going up. The price for Ghana has already gone up. And for Ivory Coast and Nigeria, those prices may hold steady because what happens, and so all of these kind of bounce, the only place where the flight, and just to let you know, where the flight is actually included in the international is Ivory Coast and Nigeria. We do have that flight that goes from Abidjan into Lagos. And I told you this West African surprise was coming. If you want to take advantage of all of it, all you need to do is go to MaximumImpactTravel.com, click on the Senegal and Gambia for September 9th through the 16th. That's the one that you want to go to. September 9th through the 16th. And then you will have the option when you go there to be able to select these other trips. So let's see. If you're interested, let me take you right there. All right, this is what it's going to look like. And so right here, you go, let's say you book your trip, Senegal, Gambia. It tells you everything right here. And then, and this is how you can get everything to $199. So now, if you want to add the other trips, if you want to add them, then this is what you can do right here. And so it tells you what you can do and how you can do it. And the prices will be going up. Ghana's going up to 41. As a matter of fact, Ghana right now, the price on this one is extremely low, because if you look at what Ghana costs right now, if you get this in before midnight, then you can take advantage of this Ghana extension before the price for that goes up to $41.74, because that's what the price is right now. Ivory Coast, you can see everything. Ivory Coast, Nigeria, for the double occupancy and for the single occupancy. But you can get all three of these trips. Now, when I go back to this slide, I want to show you what we're willing to do. If you book all three, we'll take $750 off if you go to all three. There's no discount for two. It's all three. Well, can I get two? Can I get this? Can I get that? Now let me, and I'm gonna come back on the screen in a second and explain to you this right here, because we're going to be introducing. Ghana's going to have its own trip. Nigeria's going to have it. But if you take advantage and get all three, you will be able to cover many of the countries that people in West Africa, what they wish they could go to. And we're making it happen. We're going to help you through all of the different processes as far as with the visas are concerned, because you're going to need a visa to go to Nigeria. You're going to need a visa to go to Ghana. You're going to need a visa to go to Ivory Coast. And so we'll walk you through the steps in order to make that happen. But you are looking at 5 West African countries. And you'll also be in Nigeria during Nigeria's independence. And that's something that is one of the reasons why we timed it that time of year. So if it's something you want to do, hey, like we said, tomorrow's not promised. And now here you are in the West, where everybody said don't go to the West. You are going to the, I would say, well, Nigeria has the largest GDP in Africa, and then followed by South Africa and Egypt. And as we see, Ghana is on the rise. And then when you get to Senegal, you see the difference. You'll see the similarities and you'll see the differences in the culture. And can you imagine having that experience in your life and being able to say, I went on a 5-country tour of West Africa. And then you take all those pictures and post all those pictures and share with your family and friends. And you look back and you say, wow, I covered all of that. And then obviously we have other countries that we'll be introducing and sharing. But this is something that you can do today for only a $199 deposit. And that's what I'm saying. You secure your space. You get in before the prices go up at midnight. Everything's going up at midnight. That's the bottom line. Everything is going up at midnight, meaning when it comes to Senegal and the Gambia and the Ghana trip that's listed right there, it's all going up at midnight, and you can take advantage of it before midnight. And we're going to have a great time. I will be on the trip. I will actually on all of these trips. I'll be on all of these particular trips: Senegal, the Gambia, Ghana, Ivory Coast, and Nigeria. I've carved out my schedule to be in West Africa in September of this year. And I would love to be there and lead you on this journey. Those who know when they go on a trip with me, they know the great time they have. That's why we have some folks on here right now who've already been. And again, even if I'm not on there, if it's Morris in Ghana, if it's Prince in Egypt, wherever we are, they have a great time because that's our team. That's what Maximum Impact does. And so we want you to be a part of it. And again, overthinking it, I don't know if I can tell you that you will probably never see this combination of trips like this again. That's why you want to go ahead and take advantage of it if it's something that you're interested in. Maybe you want to do Senegal and the Gambia and then take a break and then come back for Ivory Coast and Nigeria. Maybe you just want to do Ghana and then you want to go do Nigeria and Ivory Coast. That's a different setup as far as everything plays out. The special that we're offering is Senegal and the Gambia, and you could just do Ghana. Maybe you don't want to do Ivory Coast and Nigeria. Maybe you just want to do, maybe you say you just want to do Senegal and the Gambia and Ivory Coast and Nigeria, and you want to skip over. However it is, with that particular setup, that's where if you do all three, you get that major discount. If you decide to do 2, then you get it in before midnight. Then you get the discount of not having to get that price increase that's going to happen at midnight today. And so that's what this is all about. I tell people all the time, and I like to be very clear about this, when it comes to Maximum Impact Travel, we are not going to ever be the cheapest trip around. You'll find a cheaper trip to probably all the destinations that we offer. But what you won't find is the same experience that we offer. We don't underpay our staff. We don't have our staff working for peanuts, so that, because that's what really, you get what you pay for. If you have a trip with somebody saying that they're going to take you someplace for $1,200 and all of that, one, you have to wonder about your accommodations. You have to wonder what the people are getting paid that are serving you. And so I said I didn't want to be contributing to the problem that many African countries deal with people coming in and exploiting people and underpaying them. So the people who work for us enjoy working for us because they have the ability to elevate their financial income, because it's like, hey, we're creating an experience for people where they're safe, where they're having a great time, and so we make no apologies about it. And so that we don't go and we're going to try to cut your prices down and all. Nobody goes on their job and says, yes, Mr. or Mrs. Supervisor, pay me less for giving you my very best. Nobody does that. And so we don't do that either, because we want to give you the very best. But our team, they work hard and they deserve to be compensated for it. And that's just where we are with it. And those who are part of the Maximum Impact Travel family understand it and have no problem with it, because they recognize the amount of work, the amount of effort that goes into creating these experiences, and we want it to be a win-win across the board. So when it's all said and done, hey, everybody's happy. You're happy because you had a great experience. Our staff is happy because they took their time and served, and that's what makes us confident and very assured in what we do, and that's the deal. So you are invited to be a part of this experience. Like I said, I'm telling you, this is a once in a lifetime deal right here. 5 West African countries. I can tell you, you won't see it again. But let's say you don't want to go to all 5 and you want to go to Senegal and Gambia. Take advantage of it. Let's say you want to bring some family and friends along. If you bring the family and friends along, you can get that $300 credit, and that's extended. So if you, for this particular trip, that you'll be able to extend that. Let's say if you book after midnight. And then again, take advantage of this experience. Enjoy. We always say sit back, relax, and enjoy, and just stay tuned. Watch the great time. See, now you saw me walking with the lions. Now you'll have a chance to walk with the lions if you want to, or you'll have a chance to watch somebody else walk with the lions. You saw me on the ATV. Take me off, put you on. And that's the thing. So all of this is a part of this experience. I'm going to hop over here and see if there's some questions that I might not have answered, and then we'll let everybody go to MaximumImpactTravel.com and go to destinations. Click on Senegal and Gambia, and then if you want to go September 9th through the 16th, that's the one you want to click on, and then take advantage of that. Let's see here. I wanted to say all 3. Yeah, you said y'all thought I told you I had a West African surprise. I told you. Rob have a brave soul. Great question, Julia. We drive to Senegal, to the Gambia, and we catch the ferry over into the Gambia. Yeah. Y'all, see, I was about to say bad Simba. Now I can see all the comments now. Oh, man. Let's see. Great question, Gail. All right, so if you take advantage of the triple threat, I like that. See, y'all catch on quick. Y'all already part of the family. Now you catch on to my terms. All right, so what you would do is there are a couple ways that you can navigate getting to Ghana from Senegal. You can fly from Dakar, and we'll lay all of this out. And so, Camille, don't worry, we got you covered. Wanda, I know you're doing a couple also, as far as helping you navigate it. Now, one way I would do Dakar to Abidjan, and then transfer to Accra. That's one way you can do it. Or you can do another one. Sometimes they'll take you, they may take you to Lomé. It just depends on the different flights. But we'll take a look and see the best route to get you to Accra, because Senegal happens first, then Ghana happens, then Ivory Coast and Nigeria. So you'll fly so once Ghana is done, then you'll fly to Abidjan. And then from Abidjan, we'll do everything in Abidjan, and we pretty much stay in Abidjan. Then from there, flying to Nigeria, fly to Lagos, do everything in Lagos, fly back to Abidjan. That'll be a round trip. unless you want to stay in Lagos, you know, because it wraps up in Lagos. So if you want to stay in Lagos, or if you want to catch your flight out of Lagos and go home from Lagos, it just depends on how you want to do it. But the only flight that the international flight that we handle is going from Abidjan to Lagos and then back to Abidjan, and that's in Ivory Coast. So because we know some people may say, hey, look, I just want to go to Ivory Coast in Nigeria. And so we'll do it like that, you know, so where they can fly into Abidjan and then they can go from there into Lagos and then go back. So we'll work out each person's situation as far as, you know, just kind of knowing what the travel logistics are. But it's really cool. Let me say this. I've went to 7 African countries in February, and I was in Southern Africa, went to Zambia, Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, South Africa. And then I was in Egypt and Ghana also in February, and it seemed like I'm missing something in there, but I think that was 7. But I was hopping the flights. I just did what I had to do. I coordinated it, and I'm telling you, it's the adventure of it all. Even the flying in the airports and stuff. It's kind of like, yeah, all right, you know, I did it. And so again, if you sign up for all 3, we'll definitely coach you through it, because that is, you're saying that you're serious and you're ready to make some moves. So we'll definitely walk you through that process. I can tell you that we will not be doing all 3 like this again. And the only reason why I say that is because I with the way that things are picking up with Maximum Impact Travel, I know that I'm not going to have it in my schedule to be able to do all 3 like this. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't have them available, but as far as me being on all 3, that I can tell you, this is a once in a lifetime. If you want to hang out with me and, you know, and get a chance to sit down and talk and kick it and all of that, this is the time to do it. Because we're about to open up our Central America. We're about to open up Central America, South America. We have a London, Paris that we're working on, a Black History London, Paris. So we're working on Israel and Jordan. So we're working on that. So we have a lot going on. So I won't be able to do it. That's why I say, look, now's the time to do it. Come hang out with me, and, you know, we're going to have a great time. And Senegal, the Gambia, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, in Nigeria. And just imagine the footage we're going to get with that. Just imagine, I mean, just the whole 9. I mean, I'm just thinking about that whole month. I know everything. And I know, Camille, you're doing something different in Ghana this time. Camille has been with us on our previous Ghana experience. We have 2 options. You know, so for those who have been to Ghana and you want to do something different, so we do have that available. We go out to the west to Takoradi, so that's another addition. So there's a few things we have going on. Let me see if some other questions. All right. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Patricia. Yeah, we do. We do have personal packages for groups, just to let you know we do. And hey, Vicky, what's going on? What is going on? I know who you are. Yeah, I think I answered the question. What's up, Robin? Let me find out everybody from like previous trips are there, so y'all know what I'm talking about. So y'all know. Oh, good. Come on, let's do it. Just like when we did the video, y'all were talking, thinking about, yeah, just come on back. We have a great time. I would love to see everybody. Robin, you already know what time it is. So let's see. So here's what I want everybody to do. You're going to go to MaximumImpactTravel.com. I may even, let me see if I can, let me do, this might be something I can do for everybody here. So, because if you go to Max, I'm going to show you where to go and how to get there. That's what we're going to do. Let me find out, Robin and Vicky. I think all y'all were right there together on the same trip. Did y'all in cahoots or something? Y'all planning to come back again? That's what's up. All right, here we go. I'm gonna do this Zoom style. I'm gonna hop over to the Zoom screen, and I'm gonna take you to the website so you can see the website. Then I'll come back over. All right. So now, when y'all go to Maximum Impact Travel, this is what's going to pop up. And so let's see. When this pops up, oh, please be sure to join the mailing list so you stay on top of things. So that'll pop up. And then you're going to go click destinations. And so Senegal and the Gambia is right here. So you see, this list is about to expand. We're about to go to 35 different places. We're adding them slowly but surely. But you click Senegal and the Gambia, and this is going to come up, and it's going to give you a rundown on everything. That's me right there in Gorée Island. And then you're going to see the upcoming tour day, September 9th through the 16th. Now, you don't get these specials in 2024, so just letting you know, this is 2023. This is the deal. So this is like, I'm telling you, this is once in a lifetime. And so here you are. And there you go. If you give your browser a little bit of time to catch up, you'll be able to see everything, because I'm looking at it on another monitor as well. So if you kind of give it a little moment, it'll get the blurriness out of it, and then it kind of tells you everything that you have going on, and then you scroll down, and so you can decide from there which options you want to go with. And if you decide that you come over here to let's just say you select double occupancy. I'm just doing it like this. I'm doing one double occupancy. If you have two people, then you put two double occupancy, and then it tells you, because people often wonder, like, well, what does it look like if there's a payment plan? So now we have 4 payment options. And so this is what, you're looking at. You have 4 payment options that you could take advantage of. And then it tells you, so you, like right here, June 1st, or, it's for 2 people. So let me just do it for 1 person. Let's say 1 person wants to go and they're doing single occupancy. Let's do that. All right. And then you can just toy around with it. Everybody has a different scenario. So, and you can see it. So let's say you put the $199 down, and then you come over, and then it tells you what it looks like over the next 4 months. And so you can break it down like that. Or a lot of people, they pay a full amount, and then it's done. They pay the whole thing, and then it's knocked out just like that. So they have the options of the different, let's see here. If you have a child or whatever, you go through your scenario, but a lot of people wonder, like, what is it going to end up looking like? Then you can see everything before you start submitting any payments or anything like that. So there's no surprises. It's all right there in your face, and you can you complete all of the information, and then you go from there. But this is what I like to say to everyone that's even, it's even something that Miss Ann said at the beginning. She said that this is really an investment into you. We work our whole lives for money. We work for someone else. We work to make someone else's dreams and experiences happen. And then somewhere along the line, we don't take that time for ourselves. And it's, sometimes it's easy to go on an all-inclusive cruise to the Bahamas because they gear that towards making it, and you can go on some very expensive cruises to the Bahamas, but typically they target a certain segment of the population and say, we know that this is how you like it, and we're going to price it right here for you, and you're going to constantly go on those same cruises. We're going to make all our cruises or whatever experiences are, Cancun, whatever. I've been to Cancun many times. Love Cancun, love the Bahamas. I was just down on a cruise recently. But I also recognize that when I'm in different parts of Africa, the more difficult that they make it for you to get there is typically there's something on the other side of that. And when I was in Kenya, and I stood there and I was like, wow, I said, there's not a whole lot of people who look like me in this passport line coming into this country. I said, but I'm in Africa, and for whatever reason, so many of us are stuck psychologically within the American borders. But there are other people in other places, they go all over, and they don't run to Europe first. They go to Africa first, and they have the beauty and all of that. They have that experience, and they take that back to their cultures and their communities. And they don't even descend from there, in recent times. Let me say that. And so for those of us who descend from there, our ancestors in America fought hard so that we would have the opportunity to do some of the things that we can now do. And so for me, I said, well, I have ancestors in America and I have ancestors in Africa. And I said, if anything, you know, like Freddie and Urban Lecture says, busy making our ancestors proud. That's what I want to make sure that when I think about my grandmother and people, my great grandparents who I knew, and they never saw the beauty of the continent of Africa. Many of them never even had an interest. But I said, I know I've seen it and I want to be able to share it with others. So with that said, all you got to do is go to MaximumImpactTravel.com, put that $199 down before midnight tonight, and you'll be able to take advantage of the current price before it goes up, which will be going up tomorrow. And you'll be seeing, y'all know me, if you follow my YouTube channel, which you should be doing, y'all should be subscribing to that YouTube channel and that IG. You know, it is one of the things that, you know, once you go on this experience, I go out of my way to make it special, and we constantly improve. And because we want you to have this experience and we want you to be able to share it with others and say, hey, you know what, we can do this and we can represent our culture and our community with excellence. And we don't have to go to certain places and go on certain trips because that's what we've been conditioned to. But we can go on these nice trips just like everybody else, and we can be there having a great time in a place that many of us descend from. So with all of that said, I believe I've covered hey Zakia, what's going on? Oh, hey, what's going on, Jerry? Come on now. What's going on? Y'all funny. I thought about y'all the other day. Can't wait to see you this fall. I know a lot of people are coming back and going with us, and you know, they got a running joke. Like they're like, yeah, like Maximum Impact like a car note. Y'all got jokes, but you know what? We're gonna make it well worth your while. That's the deal. We're gonna make it well worth it, and we will not depreciate in value. How about that? We will increase in value and give you lifelong experiences that you can take forever. And that's one thing. And you all know. These are my folks here, so they already know. All right, everybody, listen. This is what you can do. Don't overthink it, because I know somebody's gonna start thinking. Don't overthink it. Just know you're going to have a great time, and stay tuned, because this is what we do and this is who we are. And I'm excited about it, as you can tell. And we're going to continue offering these experiences. And so take a look again. All right. So I look forward to seeing you. Senegal, the Gambia, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Nigeria. And if I don't see you there, I know I'm going to see you somewhere along the line. And so take advantage of it today before midnight. And any additional questions, please reach out to us at MaximumImpactTravel.com. All right, join the family, become a part of the family, the Maximum Impact Travel Experience. And remember, if you're bringing somebody, you can also take advantage of that $300 credit. Talk to you soon.